Let's talk about Bitcoin. What's up, guys? You guys know it. I called for this exact bottom here. And of course, that is based on the Fibonacci retracement coming from March 2020 until the 69K top in November last year. And you can see it here in the white circle already. We hit exactly my target, right around 17,500. This is where we bounced right now. Of course, guys, there's a lot to do for Bitcoin to hold this range. And that, of course, was also based on a scenario where Bitcoin then would have closed back above the 200-week SMA, which we've closed below it significantly for the very first time in the history of Bitcoin. Of course, there was one occasion, March 2020, at the beginning of the pandemic, where we then went onto a massive bull run. But things are looking extremely different. The pandemic, of course, I spoke about it in the past, was not priced in. Everything that's happening right now is way more priced into the market and in everything what's going on. So we got to keep that in mind, that potentially this is very, very bearish for Bitcoin, and we could go even lower. Of course, now what I want to do is here look at the monthly chart. We see we're sitting right on this 78.6, but then also go down to the weekly chart, see how this massive bullish pattern, the falling wedge, has developed over there, and then we go down to the daily chart and the 4-hourly chart to see what's necessary for Bitcoin to finally confirm a bottom, get a bounce, and then potentially break that trend. All right, so we're just looking at the Fibonacci retracement, and what we want to do here, of course, is find the bounce on the 78.6 and then go back up to the 61.8, and that would be our target here on the monthly chart. Now let's move down to the weekly chart to see how this could potentially play out. All right, I already mentioned it before. Here's this massive falling wedge. So of course, we had a chance. We already closed below it 2 weeks ago. You can see it right here. We closed below the support of the falling wedge if we're taking the lines, of course, from the bodies here. And we had a chance to turn that into a bit of a fake out here, get back into the falling wedge, and then our bullish breakout target, of course, of this wedge would have been exactly in line with the previous all-time highs, right around in the 60K region. And what we have here now is, of course, we're hanging on to right now the previous 2017 all-time high, the 20K all-time high. And for that, let me just pull up another chart here as well. The support and resistance levels that I've been talking about for weeks, a month now. Of course, the bottom blue box, the area that we currently found support in, the area that I said there was the most likely bottom for Bitcoin all along, while people were still talking about that we get another bounce right around 28K to 30K. I told you guys, this will not happen based on the fact that we lost the 50-week SMA, and every time we did so, we ended up going back down to the 200-week SMA. Of course, data is changing for Bitcoin. As we've seen with the 200-week SMA, we did not manage to close back above it on a weekly closing basis, and therefore it's looking way more bearish this time around for Bitcoin. Now, in the background here, the 2017 20K all-time high found support right on top of that, and that is of course perfectly in line here as well with the area of the 200-week SMA and the 50-month SMA, and as well the 78.6 of the Fibonacci retracement that we just looked at. So that's where we got this really strong support from. But now what we want to see is here what is necessary. Of course, we want to hold this range and then break back above here, get out of this support area and test those highs here right around 32K again. And guys, as you know, I'm updating every single day. So if you appreciate my content and if you appreciate these updates, make sure to smash up the like button to help me out here, and subscribe, hit the bell to get updated with the Bitcoin price, no matter where the market's going, up, down, or sideways. Now let's look at a different weekly chart here from a Fibonacci retracement perspective. And there you see our next target. The next first step on the ladder on the Fibonacci retracement, of course, the 23.6. We have it right around 29.6 here, let's say 30K. And that, of course, then would also be our first target if we were to go on a relief rally here, which is expected for Bitcoin. We want to see if we find alignment there with that target, that we find different indicators on different charts and different time frames. Right now here we see it on the weekly chart, the most obvious target, of course, the previous range that we've lost, the 30K region, that region that a lot of people were expecting to get a bounce to new all-time highs. There were people saying that we will never fall below 28K and so on. And guys, I've been telling you all along for months now that we will go down to the 200-week SMA, that I don't see a potential bounce in the 28K region. So 30K, that is our target here that we can see now. Let's move down, let's shift down in gears, let's go down to smaller time frames and go down into the daily chart now. There I also have a few charts prepared for you guys. Starting here once again with the support and resistance levels here. You can see them already, and at the bottom I had posted this a few times on TradingView, over on Twitter. Make sure to follow me everywhere. That's where you get instant updates. I constantly update on these platforms since it's way easier to push out the content. And on those platforms, of course, you will also find out when there's new slots available for my 100% free Bitcoin group, which I will announce in the next few weeks. So make sure to subscribe not only here, but also on Twitter and on TradingView. I'll make sure to leave the links all below down in the description. Now you can see here, we found the exact bounce at the level, of course, I said it before, 17,500. That was my bottom here for Bitcoin. And you can see it, we hit it exactly on the spot. We're sitting right in this support region here. Of course, that support region that we've taken from the lows that we've been trading in December, November 20 and January 21. And then found the bounce from there and ended up going to the 65K top. Very strong support area. We've seen in alignment with a lot of indicators on larger time frames. And now we want to confirm here our target if we manage to break to the upside here. Currently sitting right below the 20,500. This is the area we're trying to confirm above here on a daily chart and to get to our next target, which of course here is the next range. And there we can see it right around 22,500. You see we've been trading below this trend line here since late March, really, when we put in the 48K top there and fell down from there. So to reverse this trend, of course, we need to get back above this trend line here, somewhere right around, depending on how long it takes us, 26,000, and then break the previous range highs. That is, of course, always the definition of a trend reversal. We want to get above the previous highs here, and there we see it right around here. This range is right around 30,000 to 31K. So also alignment with what we just saw on the weekly chart as our next target from a Fibonacci retracement perspective. And let's look at the Fibonacci retracement here as well on the daily chart then. Okay, we can see it here, the 23.6, right around 24,900, or let's call it 25K. And then above it, once again here, another confirmation of 38.2. The entry level for the high compression area on the Fibonacci retracement. Here, this, of course, the Fibonacci retracement coming all the way down from 48K down to our low now here, 17,500. And there is our next target in line with what we saw on the previous daily chart and as well on the weekly chart. And now let's switch down even lower, go into the 4-hourly chart and see what we need in the immediate short term to happen on a 4-hourly closing basis to get confirmation for further upside for Bitcoin and a potential trend reversal. Okay, here as well, starting out with the support and resistance levels. Again, these lines you're very familiar with. Of course, everything that I've been talking about lately, these are charts that I've been using for weeks and months. Something if you've been following me, not only here on YouTube, but all over the platforms, these levels have been extremely reliable. As you see, every time we broke down from them or broke above them, we got confirmation. So this is exactly what we're trying to do here once again. Currently holding the white line here, the white line being right around 18,000. So 18,000 on a closing basis, on a 4-hourly closing basis, is the line in the sand that we want to hold. We don't want to close below that to avoid further downside. And then to the upside, of course, we want to get above back into the previous range that we've been trading in last week, and that sits right around here, 21,100. So a break above that on a 4-hourly closing basis already indicates us that we're testing the previous highs here right around 23K. So these two lines are very important here. Here we want to close above, and then to confirm the breakout, we want to close above right around 23,000, and then we see our target here right around 29K to 31K. All the same on the different charts. We've seen it on the daily chart, we've seen it on the weekly chart, the monthly chart, and now here on the 4-hourly chart as well. If we get to break above these levels here right around 21K on a 4-hourly closing basis and then 22,800, then we can expect to go to test the 30K region, and then it becomes interesting. Can we get above the previous high? Can we get a trend reversal? And of course, guys, I keep my eyes on it. I'm going to keep track of the market, so make sure to like here to help me out to get more visibility and to break the algorithm here on YouTube. And for you guys, of course, to stay up to date with me, make sure to hit subscribe and the bell to get notified whenever I update the Bitcoin price, no matter where the market is going, up, down, or sideways. This is it for me for today. I'm gonna dive into the pool right here now. Extremely hot day in Marbella, Spain once again. Hope you guys are all doing amazing. Have an amazing start to the week. And as always, happy trading and see you very soon.